All right, all right. It looks like we are live. We did it. All right. Had some tech issues. Hey, whatever. We're back here and welcome to the Pain Point Podcast. And I've got a great person on as a guest today, but I want to do a little housekeeping. We'll put that information in there. We have got the Devastated to Divine Alignment Summit coming up in just a week here. It is absolutely going to be on January 22nd to January 23rd. And if you upgrade to the VIP level, that means that you are supporting confronting domestic violence. So we are looking forward to that. I'll put the information in there. And don't forget the to join the Voice Lab. And when you get on the school platform and you're working with Voice Lab, you know what? You can get the freemium account. That's absolutely fine. Do that. Come into Voice Lab, talk to other entrepreneurs, people in business, and everybody's there to leverage the stage as marketing, and that's what we're doing. We're working in Voice Lab every Monday. We have Learning Lab, we have Solutions Labs in there. It's all about business. It's all about getting on the stage. It's all about there's tech in the back. And oh my gosh, what do? It's leveraging your visibility with very simplified systems in the Voice Lab. And it's entrepreneurs that are doing everything and ready to do what actually moves the needle. That's what that is all about. And you can chat with people. And it's great on the school platform because you get right into the community. You don't get lost in the sauce of something like a Facebook and sometimes LinkedIn. It gets a little overwhelming. And it's a great place to be with like minded individuals. We also have the Brew and Stew Spotlight. And that is all about getting on places like this, the Pain Point Podcast, and working also collaboration with Monday Morning Business Foreplay. It's live. The video is live. You're getting seen and heard. It's all about you. You get the video, you get clips. You can always sponsor a podcast if you're a business and you want to just sponsor a podcast. Maybe you don't want to get on one more podcast this week. It's not in there. But what happens is you're not only on places live every week, sometimes five and six. That commercial is being shown. It's also being shown on summits. So don't forget to look at that Brew and Stew Media Spotlight because you can get a sponsorship and you got to get seen and heard. And that's what it's all about. And that's what we are working with Devastated to Divine Alignment. It's all about getting seen, heard, and moving past post-traumatic growth. And what we're looking at is survival isn't the finish line, it's the foundation. How do we move past that? If you heal yourself, you can heal others and build a stronger community. So it's all about good stuff, not just feeling good, but definitely you're going to get some tips and tricks on not only moving to the next level, but moving to the next level so you can totally be financially free, mentally free, and physically free. That is what that is about. But welcome today to the Pain Point Podcast. So, Miss Lynn Lionhood, let me spotlight you here. I want to welcome this amazing guest here. You are, you know what, Lynn? I would love for you to tell people about your experience. I mean, you are just out there all the time. You just make people feel so good and so welcome in your groups, networking, working with you, doing business with you. The support is just phenomenal. And I wish, I could say I wish I met you 20 plus years ago. I could have used some help networking and in connections. I didn't understand how that worked. But would you tell people a little bit about who you are and your experience, what you bring to the table and share a story or two, right?
Okay, so let me tell you something. I'm going to humble myself first. I'm very jealous of you this morning because you have two eyebrows and I didn't plan well. I think I have one and a half eyebrows. I think I forgot to draw on the other one. I've reached that point in my life where I overpluck and draw them on, and I forgot to draw half an eyebrow on. So just want you to know that if you're looking at it and you think there's something wrong with your screen, it's not. It's me. So, when I came to this whole thing of networking, it was all new to me. I didn't understand networking and what it was, but I didn't want to be average either. I wanted to make sure that I always honored every single person that came. I have a reason I began to network, and that really was a personal reason for an issue that nearly took my husband and my daughter's lives. And I made a commitment to God that I would help people. So I went out and when I eventually got to see what real networking was about, because my first time was a disaster, when I actually got to see what networking was about, I saw things that I liked and I saw things I didn't like. And I thought, well, you can sit back and you can complain about it or you can fix it. So I chose to fix it. And I went home and made a list of everything that I liked and everything I didn't like. And the things I didn't like, I fixed. And even though it's been 35 years of doing that, every single time I have an event, I can always find a way to make it better. And that's really what I try to do is keep reinventing it and making it fresh and making it new and always in mind, what can I do to help Nicole Borghi if she's my guest? It's not about me, it's about her. That's why the event is there. And so that's really what I do, Nicole. I mean, it's just finding fresh new people. Listen, none of us like to do cold calls. That's the old way of doing business. When I used to do cold calls, people swore at me with words I didn't think I'd ever heard before, and they would hang up on you, and it was depressing. And I thought, really, people do this all day long? They come to the office and go, wow, I get to make 100 calls today, and I get to be sworn at by 99% of them and hung up on, and maybe I'll find one that will talk to me. Nobody wants to do that. If they tell you they like cold calling, they're lying. There have to be better ways to do it. And so I try to make sure that you have a full plate to keep you busy until I see you the following week.
You know, that is so true because you're such a great referral person and a great referral partner and telling us, you know, who would really work well with us because you kind of detach yourself and you back out and look at, you know, it's almost like a Monday morning quarterback, this situation. These are all the players and these are how they'd work together and there's a magic in it. But there's also this simplicity of what you bring and of course you know who you're working with and the experience you have because you know when you sell you're talking about cold calling and it's just like man who wants to do that somebody says well just pick up the phone and start calling people no, because I'm the person that used to hang up on people. And you know what? If you stay on the phone, I'll have a conversation with you and it's going to make you cry through your sleep. You're never going to get to bed.
That's right.
Don't cold call me. You know, it used to just be so horrible. That's not going to get anything done. And besides, people aren't going to really have, most of them don't have the charm and the personality to carry on a real conversation and make you feel welcomed or want to pull the trigger on whatever either people are selling or, you know, if they're you know, going to try to make you pay a bill, right? If, you know, the old collectors, and that's kind of what cold calling turned into. Right. It felt like a
Right.
bill collector call when you're on the other end. And of course they want to do it when it's at dinner time or something that's totally inconvenient and they know that. That's not the time to spoil
And
it. You
not
want
only
to be with
that,
your
we
family.
all have technology now. We have phones that will block a lot of calls. They can tell right away when they're bad numbers, you know, that are just trying to make a call to you. So you can block those things. So it's just not a productive way. We've had to change the way we make our contacts.
Yeah.
And I think today I have some fresh stuff I'd like to share with you that I think is important. You know, you and Colleen are all about helping everybody maximize what they're doing in business, do it the best way possible, and always come off with a professional and great approach. And I think when it comes to networking, people think it's just, I'll dial in, I'll show up, and the magic will happen. That's not true. I think how we show up makes a world of difference. And I think that people need to think about that. If you go to a networking event today and there's 25 people, which is, I think, the max that it will let you show on your screen if you're on Zoom. So if you're on there and you're one of 25 people and you've made the commitment that you're going to go, and let's say it's a 1 hour event, or let's say it's like this, your podcast, showing up and the way you show up is vitally important and people don't think about it. So I've been to some events lately where people show up and they cut their camera and it's their name on the screen.
Hmm.
What do you think you're telling the host? What do you think you're telling the other people who are coming? That you're not involved enough to fix yourself up, comb your hair, put on some makeup, take a shower. Thank God it's not smell-o-vision, and show up on the screen, for God's sake. You're going to show up with a name. You know how awful it is to be the speaker or the host and have a name looking at you and nothing else? You can't interact with that, and that's terrible. So you're already showing that you're not committed. If I'm on there and there are 25 people, why would I refer someone to you? You're not even committed to come here today to meet me and find out who I might introduce you to. So I wouldn't. And then I was at a meeting earlier this week where I swear to you, the guy just rolled out of bed. Not only was he late, but his hair was disheveled. He looked like he needed to wash his face. And then when it came time for him to explain who he was, it was all garbled and a mess. And you know what the really bad part was? I had referred someone to him and they were my guest that day. And I knew they would meet him on this call. And while
Wow.
he's garbled, and I mean garbled when he's talking about who he is and what he does, almost as if he didn't know what he did, I'm sure that my referral was thinking, that's who you think would benefit my business to know him? So I think how you show up is really important. If you're going to make the commitment to be there, get up, make a nice appearance. I think, again, people will sometimes come and they'll have a script on a piece of paper and they'll be wanting to read the script. Don't do that. You sound like a telemarketer.
Well,
Stop.
you should absolutely, you know, that's so true. You want to come prepared. You don't want to come looking like it's the first of the month at Walmart and you just rolled up to the weed dispensary and then cruised on in because you got your check, right? You
Right.
don't want to look like that. That's what I grew up with. I've been there, done that. No shame in the game, but take a shower. They do provide soap. That's part of it, and people will do some outreach for you.
Right.
Take a shower. Don't bring your screaming kids. Feed them something before they go to the store. Teach them how to be in public. People have taken that mentality to networking. Just because you can show up in Zoom just at any point in time doesn't mean you need to. If you're driving and you're like, hey, I want to identify myself and say, hey, it's me, Nicole. I'm on my phone. I'll be driving. I have to be off camera because it's
I
very
can
distracting,
understand that. That's
but I
good.
can listen in and I'll be there in about 5 minutes. But say hello. Identify yourself. Same thing with the summits. Hey, I'm working and I'm listening in. Let me let you know. I had someone that called me and they had been at my summits before. We had a wonderful call and she's actually going to be on Devastated to Divine Alignment. But we had a wonderful call and she explained, look, I couldn't come in on camera. Just let me know. Pop it in the chat.
Right.
Hey, I'm going to listen. But what we've started with when I started these summits with my intention for 2025 rolling into 2026, it's going to take time for people to get used to coming back on camera. I get it. Sometimes you pop into something and you kind of want to see the room and who's there, and then you have the escape button, leave. You can go out, put your lipstick on, brush your hair, and come back in and say, "Hey, here I am again." Right? You know, if you have to make the excuse, my internet went down. Be professional. Have something
Right.
at the ready. Be able to say why you're coming in and out. For one, for two, you know, here, you know. When you come in there, you have to know that you're trying to work with people, and then you wonder why nobody wants to work with you. Take a message from Dan Pina. He calls himself the $1 trillion man, right? But the thing is he wears suits. You don't have to wear your suit. I'm not wearing a suit. I wore a nice top. It's clean, you know. It and brushed my hair. You look wonderful, Lynn. You're here. You're on the camera. You're ready to have a great conversation. You show up as you. And that's okay. It's okay. You don't have to have your evening gown on and your hair all done, and we all look a little bit better. But people are watching you. Not only are they watching you, but you are on video 24/7. Whether you're out at the market, they're spying on you at the street lights and reading your facial recognition. You are on camera all the time. Use the filters if you have to. Just wipe this, wash your face, brush your hair. That's all people are asking for. Go get some eyebrow tattoos.
And
You know what?
be aware of your
Yeah,
backgrounds. Be
exactly.
aware. Now, see, before I got on here, I have a dog. I know he will bark and jump around. So I put him in another part of the house and shut the door so it would be quiet.
Thank you.
It's distracting to the speaker when there are dogs barking. I can't tell you the numbers of meetings I've been on where a cat walks right by the camera and a big tail should be wrapped around the person's head. And I'm thinking, really? You couldn't put the cat away just for that hour? That's really distracting. If your husband is going to be somewhere in the area, make him know you're on camera so he puts on clothes when he walks by in the background. That's important. I mean,
Because you've been married over 20 years and nobody wants to see that.
that's
Hello.
right. That's right. So there are some things you just have to take into consideration. You only have to dress yourself from the waist up, so it can't take that long to get ready.
No, no, you should have 2 to 3 tops that are your Zoom friendly tops that are either pulled out of the dryer because people, do you not know how to take a wet towel and put it in the dryer with your shirt? You don't have to iron it or just get it ready for the next week. You're going to wear the same top anyway. Put it on. Wash your face, put some lotion on, brush your hair, show up. Show up and be present. But what does it say? It says everything about your soul-led leadership, your
Correct.
leadership at a soulful level. And not only does it show that you respect other people in the room, and this is where you need to have their confirmation. This is where you need to listen to what they have to say, and you are looking for their opinion because they're going to give it to you. The other thing is you're showing up for you. You're showing up to people and you're saying, "Hey, I'm a leader, I'm an expert in my business, and I value who I am. I value what I do, and I value your time." That's
Then your
huge.
message has to be important. Quit worrying about I have to practice and I have to memorize my 60-second spiel. I hate it when people teach you how to do that because then people rely on just this 60-second spiel. Stop it. If Nicole, if you and I were to go to have lunch today and we were going to have a discussion about business, I could freely talk about my business. Think about Zoom as the same way. Sit there and comfortably have a conversation. If everything is scripted and you're reading it off of paper, you know what my assumption is? You don't know your business. And I'm
100%.
not comfortable with sending you someone when you don't know your business. So people think it has to be picture perfect. It doesn't. If you said some stuff today and forgot to tell me something, well, that's why I'm giving you my email address and my phone number. Give me a call. We can have a discussion. I can tell you all the stuff I forgot to tell you in my 60 seconds. But people think it has to be perfect. They think they have to talk blah, 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 as fast as they possibly can, get it all in and read you the whole brochure. I don't need that. I don't need that. Stop it. Yeah, it's
And those people, when you tell people kindly like yourself and you say, "Hey, I'm not a big networker and I'm coming in. There's a few people that are just learning to do the entrepreneur, solopreneur thing, and they may be doing it as a side hustle. And they can come in and they can say, 'Hey, Lynn, I need a few pointers. I need to come in here. What's the best way to present myself?'" But it's the comfort. If somebody makes you feel uncomfortable in the room, first of all, get over it. I really want to say that because you need to show up, turn on the camera. If there's no reason for you to hide, there's no reason for you to stay private, nobody's cyber stalking you, then come on the camera and talk to people.
I told them if you're not naked and you're not ugly, turn the camera on.
100%. And say, "Hey, I need some help networking. What's the best approach to this?" Get on a call, go to lunch with Lynn. I'll put that information in the chat as well. But you're warm and welcoming. And
When
it's
I
not,
know when I know they're new, I pay
yeah.
more attention to them when they're new because I know they've got butterflies in their stomach and I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. I will pull out of them information and let it be, well, Nicole, you told me that you do this. Talk to me about that a little bit. Something to just make them be more comfortable with what they're doing. And if I were brand new and I were going out networking, I'll tell you what I would say. So this is for all the newbies who haven't done it. I would go there and the first thing I'd say is, you know what? I just started a new side business and I'm not very good at this. So this is going to suck today. But if you stick with me and keep watching me, I promise you next week's message will be better and the one after that will be better. And you can critique me as we go along. So today is going to be horrible. So buckle up and get ready for a ride. And then
That's
I would
it.
say it and people would be so forgiving. But when you think I just started something brand new and I got to pretend like I've been doing it for 20 years, trust me, they're going to know you haven't been.
Well, 100%. Don't, it's not fake it till you make it because you're not good at storytelling. You're not a great actor. Just show up, and Colleen is in there. She says, just show up. And there is, I also want to say there's a Kemi that is on here watching. And Kemi says, thanks for all this. They're a network marketer. And they're a health and wellness coach out there, and they're watching on LinkedIn. Thanks for watching. And it's great to see that people are here getting these tips. It's all about solutions on this show. It's
Can I
really, really
speak to
about
can I
solutions.
speak
Go
to
ahead.
your Kemi, the health and wellness person? I'm
Yeah.
going to speak directly to that person for a minute because here's what I think most health and wellness network marketers do wrong, and they can easily correct it, and they don't realize how strong that would be. I don't know anybody in the health and wellness market that didn't go there because of something that happened to them or a family member.
Yeah.
They always go there because they got sick and found a solution, or a friend did, or a family member did. I think they don't understand the power behind sharing why they got into health and wellness. If they do that, listen, it's not because I just happened upon some great vitamin while I was on the internet and I said, "Oh, let me call that company. I want to sell those vitamins." It's not what happens.
Nope.
It's because that lotion or potion or whatever they had helped myself or helped my husband at a bad time. And every time they tell that story, you endear yourself to your audience who said, I know they have a passion because of this, and they will not forget you because of that story. So if I were them, I would lead with that story and then tell what was the product that made you change and want to offer it.
That's it. People buy your story, and that's all about business, and it's all about connection. People want stories. If you remember the biography channel and the Way Way Back Machine, all about the stars, they people want their story. They want to know about you. They want to talk to you. They want connection. I did just put in, Kemi does say hi, Lynn. Thank you for the information. I just put the information for your lunch with Lynn is in the chat. It's
Beautiful.
on Rumble, it's on YouTube, and it's on LinkedIn, so people can connect with you. It's Thursdays, 1 o'clock Eastern. That the correct time?
That's correct.
Okay, and they've got
One to
this.
three, and leave 2 hours, guys, because it's like two segments of a show. The first one is the coming attraction where you get to hear and meet everybody on the call. Once you know them, what are you going to do with it? Now I'm going to throw you in private breakout rooms with 3 or 4 people where you can tell those people exactly what you need. Go in there like you're sitting on Santa Claus's lap and saying, you know what? I need to be introduced to business owners with 10 employees. Go in there and tell
Exactly.
them because they know it's their job to really work hard to try to help you as you're going to do for them. So if they leave after half of the show, they never get to the dessert. You want to eat the dessert.
Yeah, and that's a great thing. We're looking at doing a networking as well throughout the week and looking through that. That's on the school platform. There's a poll in there. If you guys are in the Voice Lab group, the links are in the chat. Join the school platform. You get on that freebie account, connect with like-minded individuals. We're adding more things like posting parties, and we have a poll out right now. And apparently I spelled pole wrong, Pole. I did work in Vegas for 20 years. I can't handle that. I wasn't a dancer though. I was one of the few chicks
I
that
was
was
just going to
never a
say, you're going to get a
dancer.
lot of dancers.
Would have had a lot more money and a lot more friends, but I was in security in the casinos, and man, you get to see all the stuff. Anywho, um, but if we're taking a poll, taking a survey, what day, what time, we have, what works for people. Let us know on the Voice Lab, or just private message me. You can connect with me. Want to know what day works with you. Of course, that lunch with Lynn is going to always be there on Thursday. That's a place of connection and building true relationships, and that's why you want to have those 2 hours, get to know people. And what I like what you do with the networking is you give people time, but you're on the K-Fred radio as well. You give people sponsorship times, the ability to sponsor and come on and give them larger spots, but everybody's in the room. There is a time where you get into breakout rooms, but what I love, and this is what I find with the summits, the visibility, People want the Q&A. People want a chance to comment. People want to be able to come off the mic or answer one fun question for the day. It's just a random question that you throw out there, and it's fun because it works with your personality. Not everybody can do it. You get bored if somebody comes in. Oh, what's your favorite color and why? That it's just boring. You ask, we tell a story, telling fun, crazy stories about, your first car and all this fun stuff, or when you got your license, and of course, adding information for that. And it's you're sharing with people, not just the boring. Ask the cool question. It's the reason behind the question, and that's the gift that you have. It's the connection, and it's practicing. It is absolutely answering that. It's practicing not only that you're visible, that you're live, that you're in a networking event, you're getting seen and heard, you're on Fred Radio Live, but the other thing is you are practicing and kind of role playing without that boring. It just gets so boring and rigid, but it's a soft way to play how to talk to people, how to have casual conversations. Because for years, I threw people out. And when I first got into networking, they were like, get into the elevator and actually do your elevator pitch, even though you're in the elevator and everybody's like, don't talk to me, don't talk to me. So why are you advertising? So it was just a bad out the gate BS way to network. But you give the gift of where people can talk and people can have conversation and they have this wonderful connection and they're in front of everybody in the room. And that is huge. Then to immediately push people into speed networking event where you're in the same darn room with the same one person. I was at a networking event. I was there 3 months. Not one time did I not get this one guy in my room.
Oh God.
And he was too good to talk to me and he was too good to answer my questions. And I'm like, oh, okay. Am I missing something? I'm done here. Because there were some good connections I made. They weren't that great connections because everybody wanted to pitch slap. But it's really about the connections, the unity. We have fun in the chat. We play with each other, make fun comments, throw pictures up in the chat, say things where, like the
The
redheaded
hard part is I have
stepchild,
to
right?
drag you guys out of there. You guys
You
don't
do.
want to leave.
You do. Go home. Yeah. You don't have to go home, but don't stay, you can't stay here kind of thing. And that's the great thing. And that's where, people are like, you got to get used to saying no. Well, I heard no all the time, whether I was a kid out on the street or in the business I was in, I heard no all the time. And it was my job to make you do what I said. I didn't need you to say yes. This is different. This is relationship building. And besides, we're in a world where we're not engaged. And what I use with my summits and I love the confirmation that I got just being in your networking event and talking to you, whether it's early in the morning or later in the day, and we go through different groups and I see you. It's learning that people want engagement. That's why I added speaker panels to my summits so people can do Q&A. They can come on camera. We had a lot of people come in and say, hey, I want to participate. I want to network. I want to get to know these speakers. As far as I know, I haven't gotten 100% confirmation on one person just yet. They're going to get back to me. But everybody booked a call off of that.
Excellent. Excellent.
And there's probably at least half of them are actually going to get a paying client. Why was there a conversion there? Because people saw you on the speaker panel. They got to ask you questions. They got to know you. They felt connected with you. And then they get to hear your presentation. And you've gotten seen, you've gotten heard, you're there with your purpose. You're there because you're a passionate being and you're not just trying to motivate everybody. There's a good strong call to action, whether it's to get your free lead magnet or not, or to book a call with you. And people called me and said, "Hey, I want to connect with these people. I want to make sure could you make sure would you introduce me to this person or that person? I want to make sure I connect." And that's it. I'm not asking for money off that business deal. I want you to connect. That's the purpose of that. And you're getting the leads and you're getting replay. And that's huge. So now you have speaker reels, you have clips, you have all this fun stuff and adding podcasts so people get stage time. You are marketing. It's marketing. Getting on the stage, getting in a network event is all about immersive marketing, which means that you're engaging, you're connecting. And that's what we do. And there's something I do want to ask you is really the real currency is business is not followers or funnels. It's how to influence your audience. And you don't just do sales, but you've achieved. I think the other day, was it Monday, where you saying you were a top salesperson?
Mm-hmm.
And how did you achieve that? Wasn't just going out there and going, "Hey, buy my stuff."
No, no, it always is about me doing something for the other person first. They will ask me, I've had 2 meetings with you and I don't even know what you do. I said, then I've been very successful because it's all about me proving to you that I'm here not just to sell you my widget. I'm here to learn everything I can about Nicole so I can help Nicole. If I help Nicole, she's going to want to help me. I'm not even going to have to ask her again to listen to what I do. She's going to ask me, tell me what you do so I can do something for you as well. So that to me has always been the soft approach that I love. Now, somebody just recently, this afternoon, I have to have the call from hell. I got a contact that somebody gave me, and it's somebody in the same business that I'm in. So I don't know why they think we would make great partners because they do exactly what I do. But I happen to know about that person, and I know that they are the complete opposite of me. Every sentence will begin and end with the company's name. They will stay on you like a dog biting you on the rear end and not leave you alone until you say yes or get lost. And it's horrible. And so I'm not going to go in there with the attempt to fix them. Let them stay doing business the way they want. It's not my style of doing business. I would prefer that you understand that I'm here sincerely. Will I always stay the top person? Maybe not, but that's okay with me. I have integrity and I believe in what I'm doing and the way I'm doing it. I would never sell anyone anything that I didn't own, and I would never sell them something they didn't need. I want them to trust me. So trust is very important. You break that once, they'll never come back.
That's so true. That's so true.
And let's
And
talk real quick about those people that I used to have to drag out of the private rooms. When
wait,
I
wait, wait,
drag,
before you go there, I do
sure.
want to say sorry to interrupt you, but Americo DaCosta just joined us and he says connection is currency. So I do want to put a shout out for those people, but tell me more about dragging people out of there.
When I drag people out of those rooms and they say, "Oh, but I was in the middle of a great conversation," that's music to my ears. And I'm going to tell you why, because that tells me that they're going to follow back up with those people that were in that room and continue that conversation. I don't want it to end here today. I want them to take that conversation and turn it into that relationship. So they've already piqued the curiosity. So if worst case scenario, they left today, they met 50 people, I encourage them to contact every single one of them back, but they had at least 6 or 7 people they met in private rooms that they're going to start a conversation with immediately. So that's good.
100%. 100%. And Colleen says, lead by example, show them a better way. But
Yes.
show them. And what you do is not only do they want to stay and connect and they feel good and you hit their heart, you hit that soul level of something, and it's just you're like a unicorn out there. And there's so many people that I've talked to that want to go back to that kind of old school network, and we miss those connections. Whether you're going live or online, there's a different way to connect and a different way to have conversation. And it's really the mentorship, the apprenticeship that we have lost so much of the wise person in business. I want what you got. If you want that Alex Hormozy success, if you want Lynn's success, what are they doing to get that success? Don't come in the room if you're the newbie and say, I know better. How about, hey, have you tried this? Or I would wonder if this would work better this way. Or for me, maybe it works better. Here's what I do instead of you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. There's a certain criticism when you're amongst your peers that you can give and ask questions to. But when you're in a larger room, that's not what you do. Don't go to somebody else's event and start to tell them how to do what to do and how to run
Right.
that. And you have a very clever way to come back to people and say, hey, this is what I've been doing, and this is what I know, and this is why I'm successful. The proof is in the math.
So let me give you an example too. Another fallacy that I think people have is that they have to go to an event and there have to be gobs of people. And that's the only way it's successful. So suppose I know a guy named Sam and he invites me to his event and I go and there's 6 people and that's it. First of all, Sam's very upset because there's only 6 people. And Sam may have fallen under the spell that, well, I invite 10 people and all 10 people will show up, or I invite 30 people and they're all going to show up. That isn't what happens. You invite gobs of people to get 30 people, tons of people to get 30 people. But here's
Mm-hmm.
the deal. So now Sam's got 6 people. So the people that are there think, well, this is a dud event. I'm never coming back. Wrong. You should understand that the people that were meant to be there are there. If there are only 6 people there and I'm one of 6, there are 5 people there that I don't know. What if my next best client was one of those people and I don't know them yet? If I blow it off that this event is not worthy and I don't give 100% effort and I leave, I may have left my next best client right there and never known it. Put your heart and soul in it as if there were 300 people there. And if there were 300 people, how in an hour's time could you possibly get around and see them all anyway? You
You
couldn't.
can't.
So just remember that the ones that were meant to be there showed up and are there. And you need to find out everything you can and walk away with 5 great connections. And maybe one will be that super connection you're looking for. Maybe none of them will be interested in what you do. But if you did it right and you were genuinely interested in them and what they did, one of them may introduce you to the perfect client.
Well,
So
that's it.
always
That's
give
it.
100% effort.
Yes, give 100%, but connect. And you can have a million, trillion people in the room, but are you speaking for applause, a cause, or conversion? It's who are you speaking to and what is the result that you want? What's the call to action that you're giving? If a call to action is, I'd love to hear more from you, that's still a call to action to get on my schedule. If your call to action, and I know you've talked about this, is to have maybe 4 people on the call so you can get to know them a little bit more, and get to know if it's a great referral, if you guys are great collaborators, or maybe you're going to do business together. There's a way to do it so you're not on all the stages all the time, everywhere. But you do need to pop in. And for me, I'm a slow learner and I go, okay, what I like to just kind of watch. It's just the theory of relativity comes into play where it's like, look, I got to watch and see what's going on and witness how this works for me, what my role is in it, and then when I break it down, then I can come in. You got to do this a few times. It's not going to hit right off each time, but then you know what's going on. And the more you come to see into Lynn's networking group, the more people get to know you. The more you can talk and Lynn understands what you do and she can refer people and say, "Hey, you two need to connect." How wonderful is that? Like I want to talk to my speakers. I want to get on the phone with them. I want to know who they are or get on a call. Some of them I meet online or they decide to come on my stage and then just fill out a form. And that's fine too. So I do a little research and we do have some type of conversation. But I like to meet them because I want to know, do we jive? Can we work together in the same space? And is our message going to align? And what's the change there? And that's huge when you're somewhere that you need to connect. But getting really into that flow. And that's just building trust, getting to ask people, getting to talk, getting to have the conversation. And it's the staying power. I believe that the strength and what you give is really the staying power that you're going to be there tomorrow. You're not like gonna run away and you're not going to change your format 62 times. You're not going to change the time weekly. You're not going to change the day. You're not going to change. And that's huge. That's why we're running a poll on the Voice Lab because we want to know where you can come in, what's going to work. So when we do schedule it, people will show and they know that that's going to happen. They know that networking is going to be there. It's the same with the business lab or the solutions lab where you can come in and ask business questions, about some tech things or workflows or
You're
getting on a
masterminding
stage.
with all these people
Yeah,
who know this information. It's such a value. It really, truly is.
yeah,
Quit guessing.
exactly.
Quit guessing. You can guess and spend a year trying all the trial and error that didn't work, or you can go there and get the answer right away and move forward with your business. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
that's it. And we're getting ready to wrap it up today, but one last question and then I'll let you have the final words. Because we talked about how to keep things light and effective, how to be the best mentor to your group, to truly be a leader. You're showing up for them and you know to delegate and automate. And there's other people that can help out with that, but that's just the best way. So, when we've talked even about habits and mindset. So there's so much that we've discussed, but also giving the solution on basically just showing up. Here, oh, where did I lose my question? So it's the strengths and leadership. And that's for me the huge part of knowing. And you know who you are. You know what you like to do. You know, Lynn, what you're passionate about. And I think that the strength is not only what you told me about why you started doing networking and why you needed to give back to people. And I believe it's you still have that same focus and drive and you know exactly who you are and people know who you are too. And that's when you put your stake in it and you claim it. That is really what you give and how you serve the community so that they'll you know buy into you and your services.
Nicole, when I met you, let's take you as an example. When I met you and I got to sit down and talk to you, I have to believe that this will become a magical moment in my life. And I have to let you know how much I value that you've given me your time and make those magical moments happen by making sure that when you leave, you go, that was incredible. And I think I could work with that person. And I trust that they will help me grow my business and they're not just here for the money. I think that's what's really important. We're missing that. Everybody is just surface. Can I make $50 off of what I'm talking to Nicole about today? And if I can't, then they throw you aside like you're trash on the heap. That's not a good feeling when you know that you're sitting there and that person's only looking at you with dollar signs in their eyes. It's a horrible feeling. But when you leave there feeling that that person is in your heart, they know about your life, they know about your struggles to get where you are, and they truly want to see you be successful, that's magical. And that's what you really need to convey to that other person, that this is a magical moment that the two of us have been brought together, and we want to make sure that this carries on.
Yes, absolutely. It is. It is. It's the energy and the magic of the connection and I think that's you're not only building community relationships through your business, you're building long-term relationships, but it's a pivotal moment right now when we start to look at as leaders how we can change our community. And if you give back and you're in servitude of the people that you're working with, and you truly want to give them value, they see it, they know it, they feel it, and that's a long-term relationship. And then people can bring that back to their community. Not only are they making money so they can support, the nonprofits or the for-profits, puppies, kittens, or their children, but they can support the community. And as we change and grow and we start to pivot back towards engagement, that's how you change the community. So if you're out there screaming and banging on your drum, telling everybody what to do, what solution are you providing? And that is it. Everybody's got a pain point. Everybody's got a trauma moment. But once you get back away from those partners in pain and you work with people that fully want to provide solutions and do good and not just signal that they are doing wonderful, it's what you see. It's the proof is in the pudding, and that's great leadership. And that's what you bring to the table. So go to lunch with Lynn, you guys. It's Thursdays, 1 o'clock Eastern. Kemi, I put the world clock in the chat so you can change the conversion on the time to make sure which UK time zone you're in because there's a few different time zones in there and you can look that up. I think you're about I don't know 4 or 5 hours difference. Not too sure. And Colleen says take the first step, show up professionally. Absolutely. So everybody in the chat, thank you for being here. Go to Lunch with Lynn Thursdays. It's in the chat.
And
You can
remember,
chat.
successful people will always do the things that unsuccessful people won't do.
That is true. And we'll leave it at that because that's a mic drop moment. You got to get out there and you got to do it. Take action. All right, friends, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you today at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. We got a special speakers edition. It'll be on LinkedIn, Rumble, and YouTube, same channels that you're on now. And that special edition will have speakers from the Devastated to Divine Alignment stage. So come support those speakers. And thank you for being here and sharing and letting me have some of your time. I know how valuable it is. It is currency. Bye bye, guys.